All right, so here we go. What's the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day? I have it prepared. I know what I'm gonna say. The short answer is Memorial Day is to pay tribute to all those that have died in war. Veterans Day is to honor those that have served in the military and maybe they're still alive. Memorial Day falls on the last Monday of May, and Veterans Day is always November 11th. The history of the 2 days are so similar though, it's pretty understandable why they would be confused. So according to the VA website, there's at least 25 cities that claim to be the birthplace of Memorial Day. Some in the north, some in the south, they all have their own story. Memorial Day really predates anything American though. We've always buried our dead. The first Memorial Day tribute to war or the dead from war goes back to 431 BC, the Greek or Roman empires, so it's nothing original. The history of Memorial Day in America actually goes back to the Civil War though, to honor the 650,000 dead. Holy. When I was doing the research for this, it actually came across a little bit like brother and sister fighting, like bickering, like, well, I said it first. Oh, well, no, I had the idea and you copied me. Does it really matter? It does if you want to be right, but it doesn't if you're doing it for the right reasons, right? Okay. Memorial Day has some interesting stories. The Civil War ended in April 1865. I didn't know it until today. Of course, we're gonna memorialize them in May. If you look at the VA website, it says something like, one of the first occurred in Columbus, Mississippi, April 25th, 1866, when a group of women visited a cemetery to decorate the graves of Confederate soldiers who had fallen in a battle at Shiloh. Nearby were the graves of Union soldiers, neglected because they were the enemy. Disturbed at the sight of the bare graves, the women placed some of their flowers on those graves as well. All right, that sounds... But we also know that General John A. Logan, who's memorialized all over the United States, excluding Boston Airport. That's not him. That's a different Logan. John A. Logan actually he's kind of the father of Memorial Day. He had a large influence on it. Those ladies probably had an influence down south. This guy had a larger following, so his proclamation went viral. And everybody was doing, he called it something different than Memorial Day. He called it Decorations Day. Sounds howdy-toddy, Decorations Day. My favorite origin story or Decorations Day, if you would, actually comes from Charleston, South Carolina, May 1st, 1865. When a group of thousands of black men and women went into a racetrack that had been used as a Confederate prison and buried the dead and marched around the racetrack in procession, honoring those fallen soldiers for freeing them, for defeating the Confederate army. So that was probably the coolest and most well-intended reason for Memorial Day or Decorations Day. But yeah, still, I mean, if I had to pick one story that I figure probably had the largest influence, it would probably be General Logan, because he was with the GAR, which was kind of a badass fraternity of solely Union soldiers. And they determined that the GAR died with the last Union soldier. So the GAR doesn't exist anymore, but they were a pretty tight-knit group. So when he said, it's Decorations Day, it's Decorations Day, you know? All right, so Veterans Day, on the other hand, used to be Armistice Day. That sounds like the opposite of Decorations Day. Armistice Day sounds like Let's Rough Somebody Up Day. Let's Armistice Day. No, scratch that. Veterans Day, on the other hand, used to be Armistice Day. Armistice being the end of hostilities created on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. Another war, the end of it, let's celebrate, was actually celebrated around the world to signify a remembrance of those who died for world peace. Unfortunately, it wasn't made a holiday until 1938, and that was too late. 1938, you're looking at the invasion of Poland. A year later, people didn't want to celebrate when it looked like there was war on the horizons. Armistice Day kind of fell through. I read a Time article that said there was somebody trying to get us to celebrate the Mayflower Compact instead of Armistice Day. So they kind of mimic each other. Memorial Day, Civil War. Armistice Day is World War I. They're just a little while between each other. A few 50 years-ish between each other. Let's see. After World War II came and went, in 1947, Armistice Day was revived by Raymond Weeks. He wasn't actually trying to revive Armistice Day. He saw that we had a second war. He envisioned a veterans holiday. So he petitioned every year to get the holiday made. It took him 7 years of continuous working to try and get Armistice Day turned into Veterans Day. And in 1954, in the wake of the Korean War, Armistice Day became Veterans Day. We'd been in another war. You had World War I, World War II, the Korean War, all had veterans coming home, and they needed support. They needed to know that their country still loved them and still had their back. So they said, hey, we're gonna create this one day. All the veterans can feel like they're important on Veterans Day rather than just having Armistice Day to honor World War I veterans. In 1982, to show how instrumental Raymond Weeks was in the birth of Veterans Day, Ronald Reagan actually presented him with an award. And on Veterans Day, they held a ceremony and President Reagan spoke. I may be one of the few people in this room who remembers when Veterans Day was called Armistice Day, commemorating the armistice that ended the First World War. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of the year of 1918, and I might add, I not only remember when it was called that day, I guess we may be the only ones that were there on the streets in the wild celebration of the first and actual Armistice Day when it was signed. Armistice Day honored those who gave their lives in the war to end all wars, a day of hope that we had not given their lives in vain, but within a few years, and in spite of impressive efforts on the part of the Western democracies to limit arms and to outlaw war, aggressors rearmed and war came again. Ironically, the Armistice Day was made a legal holiday in the United States in 1938, just a year before a second and more terrible conflagration swept across Europe. Okay, so really, both days are the same. Armistice Day is the same as Decorations Day, is the same as Memorial Day, is the same as Veterans Day. They're all the same. They're saying some people died because bad people wanted to rule the world. So, celebrate your veterans. Memorial Day is for those that have perished. Veterans Day is for those that are still living. The weirdest part of this whole thing, saved it for last. It's actually also because it's closest to modern history and chronologically it makes sense. So I saved it for chronologically perfect timing. In 1968, after years of lobbying from the travel industry, Congress moved them both. How do you move a holiday? That's what's crazy to me. Just like, oh, we're gonna celebrate it another day, which actually is what happened. The last Monday in May is Memorial Day, and Veterans Day in 1968 got moved to the fourth Monday in October. The plan didn't actually go into effect until 1971, and people didn't know when to have a parade, when to celebrate, should they be off school, should they take off work, should they give people the day off. So they changed it back in 1975, and November 11th is officially Veterans Day for now. Memorial Day stayed the same even though Hawaii Senator Daniel Inouye, I'm so sorry that I'm saying your name so terribly. Maybe I'll just insert like someone from the news saying it right there.
Daniel Ken Inouye.
He recently passed, and he actually, every single year of his Senate career, he would push a bill to change Memorial Day back to its proper day of May 30th. This is one of my first videos. If you like it, subscribe. If you don't like it, then you probably shouldn't subscribe because you don't like it, but I'm gonna make more videos. So subscribe, comment. If I said something stupid, comment and tell me, or DM me so that you don't make me look bad. But that